Today I thought I'd make a video about a kind of agate that we've been finding along the Ark River that very few people know about. And since there's very little information available online, I thought I'd make a video, try to summarize some of the information we've discovered since we started finding it, and let you know how to look for them as well. So today we'll be looking for rosebud agates specifically, and seeing if we can find some, as well as just talking about what we've learned about them. So the type of agate we're talking about is the rosebud agate, as we've since learned they're called. And in fact, they're quite common here along the river. I just found another one here. And before we started looking into this earlier this year, nobody really knew where they came from. And we didn't even really know if they were truly agates for sure. But we've since learned a lot about them, and since discovered they can actually be quite beautiful stones. So before we started looking into it this spring, nobody really knew where they came from and weren't even really sure if they were agates at all. But we still didn't know exactly where they came from because there's very few resources online. You can't really find it posted anywhere. So nobody really seemed to know anything about them on the Ark River. But I kept looking because they're quite distinctive agates, and I figured that at least somebody would have found them upstream somewhere. Rosebud agates have a very distinctive bluish gray color and tend to be in lumpy kind of bubblegum nodules. And often have stripes or spots of orange and other colors sprinkled throughout. They're really quite recognizable and very easy to spot in this gravel bar. Since these agates were so common and so distinctive, I was pretty sure I could find something online somewhere. And indeed, after looking around for a long time, I came across a really old forum post with an almost identical slab of agate from northeast New Mexico. Since then, and with the help of a couple friends on Facebook, we've managed to track down the location a little bit further of these rosebuds, and we found out that they come from volcanic canyons in northeast New Mexico and southeast Colorado, which is really interesting because that's quite a ways upstream from here, but the material that we've seen has been an exact match. And I've seen a number of people reporting rosebud agates from those canyons up there. And indeed, the name rosebud agate comes from the original site there where people find them. After knowing all this about them, I've started keeping my eye out for them every time I go rock hounding, and have now managed to find them in all but one county along the Ark River in Kansas, between me and a couple of friends. So clearly they're a widespread stone, and really one that other people should be looking out for. Now, we initially weren't quite sure if these were actually true agates, since they do have a few features of more common chalcedony nodules. But the more we've looked at them, the more we realize that they are in fact a true agate type. They have banding, they have eyes, they have fortifications. They're a little bit different than Lake Superior agates in texture. These are just slightly more brittle, but they still polish up really nicely and have some really remarkable features. Since rosebud agates are quite common compared to the other agate types that we find here on the Ark River, I think they're a great agate for beginners to start looking for, since they do stick out quite a lot. So as you're looking through gravel, especially on the Ark River here, and trying to find rosebuds, look for bubbly blue-gray nodules of stone and try to compare them to pictures I've posted here or other places you can find online. But they're really quite distinctive, and I think once you get an eye for them, you'll recognize them right off the bat. So keep an eye out for them. Go look for them if you're out along the Ark River or the Cimarron River or any of the other major rivers here in the Central Great Plains, and see if you can find them. If you do, let me know in the comments below, because I'd really be interested to add a few more counties to the map. I'm guessing, in reality, these agates flow all the way down to the Mississippi and maybe all the way out to the Gulf if people look for them. But it'd be really interesting to map it out a little better. We have a fairly good idea of what's happening in Kansas, but Again, any reports would be appreciated, especially from Colorado or maybe further south into Oklahoma. Love to see what you all can find there. Anyway, so hopefully this video has been helpful. Hopefully you can now go out and find a few rosebud agates and yeah, see what you can find. Let me know. And let me know if there's any other types of agates you think should be found along the Ark River here that we're overlooking so far. Because it's really quite a, we're kind of pioneers here along the Ark River looking for agates this year. Very few people have done it much over the years, and so we're still trying to figure out the names and the sources for all of these. So, but again, get out, look for some rosebud agates, let me know if you find any, and have a good day. Happy rock hunting. Spot the rosebud. 3, 2, 1.